Big House to the Penthouse podcast. Stories of addiction and recovery. The lie is dead. We do recover.
What's,
I like that song, man.
What's going on,
I like
everybody?
that tune. What's up?
Welcome back to another episode of From the Big House to the Penthouse.
Penthouse.
Stories of addiction and recovery. As always, your host is Ricky Cruz.
And my co-host, Raul Moreno. What's up, man?
Man, what's up?
Oh, man, nothing. Shoot, I ain't seen you like in a month.
Man, because you're too busy for me, man.
Yeah, right.
Now, when we saw each other a couple weeks ago. We went to an event together, no?
I think so.
Oh, the casino.
The casino
Yeah,
night,
the
man.
casino
I lost like $300.
Yeah?
Mhm.
Shit. But
And
now
then
I know you were winning and you weren't even looking at your cards.
Yeah,
so.
I was. That's how lucky I am, dude. I'm lucky in love. That's why. That's what. When I met my wife, I told her, you know what, man, you're. I want to tell you, Lisa, that you're hooking up with a guy that's lucky in love, and that's why I found you. Fajita Friday, those Eloy. What's up, Eloy?
Hey, Eloy, get off
Hey,
now.
man, Eloy. Hey, you better bring your A game, dog. Fajita Friday's coming.
Man.
It's coming back. Oh yeah, with a vengeance, man.
So what you been up to? I know we had a
Well, the
week- we had a
casino
week off.
night, dude.
Yeah.
I lost like 300. Well, I was up a couple $100, and then I whipped the shit out of David Miller.
Yeah,
Oh
yeah.
man, I sent him home to dry. He went home crying. What's his wife's name?
Misty.
Misty. Yeah, I know he was that damn Ricky Cruz, man. Here, baby, But anyway, he went home crying. I mopped the floor with David and sent him home, and then he went and got some money and came back to the table.
Yeah,
I think
did.
he went and got a loan from somebody and came.
He did.
I'm talking crap about, man. Hey, and then to top it all off, I bid it. I accidentally bid on a vacation home, on a vacation thing, and I wasn't even bidding on it. This guy here went to the bathroom, and Nick Carbone, the president of the Lions Club, I
Yeah.
sat at his table,
Right.
and he went to the bathroom, and I'm like, hey, when I was like, hey, and they're like, okay, you. I was like, okay.
Wait, you
And
won
then-
it though, right?
Dude, when I bid on something, I bid to win. I don't bid to lose.
Yeah.
So I was like, come on, man. I was hoping this guy didn't go very much further, man. And,
Yeah.
anyway, he brought it up a good amount, and yeah.
That's
So
what's
yeah,
up.
that was cool though, man. It's for
That
the
is.
children.
For the children.
For the children, yeah. Not
Yeah.
only my children, but the
Yeah.
children that they went to. I think the kids' lions,
It's
the lion kids. What they called?
Man, don't get me lying.
The kids' lion clubs
Yeah.
or something. That the lions do something for the kids. They gather
David,
these kids.
If you're watching, tell us.
So anyways, for the children, they do this thing for I think homeless kids or something. I don't know. Anyways, for
Yeah.
the children. So
Yeah,
it went to
yeah.
the good cause. But anyway, so this guy here, and for our guest, man, if you recognize this guy, he's half there and half ghost. Yeah. He's here for the third leg of his the final finale of his story.
fourth
one. This guy's got four. He had such a big long story that we had to bring him back 4 times.
Yes, 4 times.
But anyway, that was it. We did that, and here's Ernesto. It's Ernesto Morales, man, here to finish his story.
Y'all settle down. It's just Ernesto.
Yeah, just Ernesto. yeah. And these things here, they didn't get him extra big because he needed him this big for his ears to cover up his ears.
He said they're custom made.
Yeah, they're custom made for him.
You gonna let him say that shit?
He knows I love him, man. Come on, man. Hey, you starting crap. You gonna let him talk like that about you, like you're in kindergarten, man? You gonna let him talk like that to you, man? So anyway, Raul, tell us about Ernesto and where we left off. Okay, guys, let y'all go ahead. Tell us where we were.
So we ended up showing the picture of you in the hospital, man.
We showed it. We showed that picture.
Yeah, we showed the picture.
Can we refresh it? Can we? Can you find it and show it again?
Yeah, I can find it. I'll show it.
All right. So anyway,
and he was talking about getting out of the hospital and about he was thankful for all the people who came to visit him. And then you did a recap. You did a recap on his part 1, part 2.
So did he remember? And then that we're acting like he's not even here. But we're talking like he's not even here. But does he remember people that came? Do you remember that? Do you remember that being in the hospital, people coming to visit you? Do you remember that?
He was asking.
You don't remember?
If you remember?
Yeah, I was like, where is he? He's right here.
I don't remember.
You don't remember?
No.
Okay, so did somebody tell you, hey, listen, son, the other came and saw you, or?
Yeah, I mean, there's people like, people that say, "Hey, I came to see you. I came to see you in the hospital," and I was like, I don't know if they came to visit me or not.
So does it matter? I mean, does it matter to you? Is there a difference? Like, hey, do you hold a grudge, or not a grudge, but are you hold resentments? We use resentments, the word resentment in the program, right? Are you resentful towards somebody that did, a friend of yours that you knew that didn't come see you?
No.
No?
I mean, not at all.
I do. That's what I'm saying, because I do, man. I'd be like, oh, you didn't come see me. Well, I had to do some
people
step
have
work.
their own lives, I'm not really nobody to, like whatever.
That's not true, though. I mean, and I'm going to interrupt you. I'm sorry. In my world, when you, let's say you call yourself my friend, man, and I had a, and I guess Lisa she doesn't hold that against me, but she's like, man, you're too something. I don't know what she says, but because I hold people, whenever you call yourself my friend, and I'm in a position to where, let's say I was in the hospital or whatever, because I was stupid and I was on drugs, whatever, right? We're still friends, and just because I did, I mean, you tell me you love me, you care about me, I expect you to, check on me.
It's the same thing, man. Like,
is it?
No, I agree with you on that. Like, if I was to, I mean, relapse in any way, man.
Right.
I hope that our friendship is still the same.
Absolutely.
I hope that you.
Oh yeah, dude. I'm gonna come looking for you.
So I kind of see it the same way. I agree.
If I find out, dude, if you're out drinking, man, I'm gonna come looking for you, dog. I swear to God, I will. I'm gonna be like, hey, bro, get it together, man.
Yeah.
And I expect y'all to do the same for me.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? And this is something I'm gonna tell you. There was a, and not to change the subject, but there was a girl in our program. I won't mention her name, but she had been gone for a while, and I had been gone from our home group for a while. And when I went to when I hadn't been in months, and I showed up, and she said, hey, how you doing? She looked like she'd lost some weight and stuff like that. She looked a little different. And come to find out that she'd been in the hospital and gone through a rough time and all that. And I'm thinking to myself, I would like to put together some kind of a program or something in our group that we could check on each other, man, and maybe email and say, hey guys, such and such is going through this, man. We need to go take him some food, or you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that would be really cool.
Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because dude, we all need that, man, especially when we in the program. I mean, you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, we have to get more involved.
We need to get more involved with each other. And I say this, man, and I'll continue to let you talk to your story, but when my father passed away, dude, I held resentment towards a lot of people in my group. I went in there and called everybody, screw you, with F you, like in the movie, F you, you're all right. F you, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I literally went in our group and did that, man, because I was, nobody that left. I felt
nobody
alone.
checked on you. Yeah.
Anyway, go ahead. What you were saying?
No,
that you didn't care that nobody came, that some of your friends that
Yeah, I mean, I it's not like I hold anything against anybody, but I do really, like, man, I appreciate a lot that people that did come. I had people that I hadn't seen, and since I was like a little kid, that they came and they heard about it and they came and they visited me. And that's super cool to me.
That's what's up, man. So let's talk, man. Let's talk about
the story, right?
Yeah. So you let's
finish
say,
the story.
So you got out of the hospital. Let's say you got out of the hospital. How long were you in the hospital?
I was in the hospital for 2 months.
2 months.
And
I remember you saying you lost a lot of weight too.
Yeah. While in the coma.
Oh shit. Okay.
Yeah. And then for a while I couldn't eat. Like they had a feeding tube into me. And after a while, I could eat. Like, it was a process.
Yeah.
Like, I could eat soft foods, and then, and then I was eating quesadillas. It didn't take me long. And so, yeah, all the doctors, man, they're, in my condition, they're telling me that, that I won't be able to walk, for a long time, and that I'm gonna have to take things slow and this and that, and while in the hospital, my mom, she came and she brought me some shoes because I've been wearing the socks, the hospital socks. My mom brought me some shoes, man. And I was like, man, forget this. I put shoes on, I'm gone. It's something inside me when I was in the hospital. It's like you know, I can't, you know, I have to go. I have to get up and I have to fix myself. So yeah, I was in the hospital for like 2 months and I got out, I went and I stayed with the next and
Is that same girl you were with?
yeah,
Okay.
yeah, with Amy. And we tried to, you know, I tried to stay in there, maybe work some things out, and it didn't work out.
Do you think she took you back? I mean, I don't know if she took you back or y'all had an agreement. When you went, when you either called her, she called you, or something like that. Did you guys talk about being back together, or do you? Let me. And this may sound a little messed up, but I'm going to say it anyway. You think that she took you back out of pity?
Maybe.
I mean, is that a possibility? Because you're pretty messed up and you didn't have a home. You didn't have no money. You didn't have a home. Your health was messed up. You didn't know how long it was going to, I mean, you had just started walking and you're in bad shape. And no money, no house, no food, nothing. Right. And I'm not saying this to be whatever, right? Because we all go through that.
Mhm.
But you think that whenever in your mind you're thinking that y'all were gonna start another, because me, when I went through what I went through, I was like, man, I'm gonna get back with my ex. I'm gonna get her back. I'm gonna get the children back. I'm gonna get the money situation back, and everything's gonna be beautiful. I built all this, but that's not what she was thinking. You know what I mean? That's not what it was on her mind.
Right,
and
right.
at some point, I think she pitied me. She had pity on me,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Right. What do you think about that?
Yeah, I think so. I think that she was like she felt bad.
She just felt bad for you. That's why she let you come stay with you.
Yeah, maybe.
Her.
You know, she probably cared for me a lot. She wanted like to me to, you know, and it was kind of like a back and forth thing of like we'll try to see if we could work things out.
Did y'all talk about that though?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I did discuss it.
Yeah, we talked about it,
Mhm.
and you know, there was a lot of questions, and I wasn't. You know, she knew a lot of things. Like she was asking me, like, "Well, you're doing this and that," and like I didn't want to. You know, I was ashamed. I didn't want to. She knew it. She knew. I think she knew, but I didn't want to be like, "Oh, I was out there doing this or that," because I felt ashamed of what I was doing.
Mhm.
But yeah, it didn't work out.
So the question she was asking you was she asking you about the type of drugs that you were doing,
Yeah.
and you didn't want to admit to it? Do you think that part of that, you not being honest with her, probably had part to do with her going, man, you know what, this guy, he's not going to change. And you know what? Because you know what, dude, whenever we feel something and we know we have that intuition that somebody's not telling us the truth,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
it's worse than not going, hey, yeah, well, this, and breaking it off, man, breaking
Right.
it down and going, look, man, I did this, da, 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 and then putting it all on the table and let her decide, let that other person, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So a lot of times trying to cover things up is worse. So, okay, keep going.
Yeah. So it eventually like got too bad, and you know, I decided I was like, I'm not gonna stay here. And I went. I lived with my. I went moved into Pasadena, and with my dear Mary.
Were you back 100%?
What do you mean?
Like your health and everything?
No, no. I was still like skinny, and I was still like I was weak.
Mhm.
Like I lost all my muscle.
Dude, he was in bad shape.
Yeah.
Bad shape. He when he showed up here at the shop, and when he showed up here, man, he looked bad. You know,
So he showed up here looking for work?
he showed up here to say hello,
Okay.
and he stayed.
Yeah.
Right?
When after
When you showed up here with your mom,
like when I got out of jail.
I don't know. At some
Yeah.
point, you showed up here with your mom.
Yeah, that's when I got out of jail.
Was that when you got out of jail?
Yeah, that was like a year later. Yeah.
No, but when you got out of jail, you're right. Right. You hadn't gone to jail. Where you're at right now in the story, you hadn't gone to jail yet.
No, I'm about
Got
to-
it.
I'm about to
Okay.
bounce out.
So, right. Okay. So, okay. I'm skipping a little forward. Go ahead. Keep going.
Yeah. So yeah, I wasn't 100%. Not you know. So I went and I'm back in back in Pasadena, and you know slowly I started talking to people. I started seeing people I knew, and
When you say that, you're talking about people that
were using.
Okay,
Yeah.
you went even after all that, man. You went around and you. Let me ask you this, and I'm gonna hammer on you a little bit if you don't mind, and if you mind, just take it. Knowing damn
mom,
good
right?
and well. Look, knowing damn good and well where that's gonna lead, right? You still went back to it, right? You still went back to the going against the rule that we have, changing people, places, and things. You went back to the people, the places, and eventually to the thing. So go ahead.
Yeah, I wasn't like.
That's the again. I'm sorry, dude. This is part of the disease.
Yeah.
I want the audience to know, man. This is part of the disease that we have in our mind, man. That even knowing what that's gonna lead to, we still something pulls us to that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
And it's just like it was just me being there, like in the neighborhood and all that. That where we lived at, that I just seen people. And like, so I was messed up in the head about everything. Like me, I was still messed up about me messing up. And now like I try to fix things with my ex, and then that messed up again. And I was in my head, and I was, I just got off, I was just on the streets, and I had all these thoughts in my head, like I can do this and I can do that. And one day I was just like, fuck it, like I was like, man, I'm gonna go, I'm gonna party, cause I was, and
Was it a weekend?
it was, I don't know what
You remember?
I don't know what day it was, but it was different because like whenever I was out there, I was getting high to I was hustling. I was hustling to get high. I was, that whole deal of hustling to what do you call it, for myself, just to get high. And after my accident, like me wanting to use, it was a different, like I didn't want to do all that.
You didn't want to do all what? What do you mean?
I didn't want to be out there hustling and doing this and that. Like I didn't want to do that. I wanted to like party, like to really like just chill and barbecue, and I didn't want to do that when I was out there. Like I wanted to keep going and going and going, and the next lick, the next thing. And so it was a different feeling of wanting to be high. It was like I just wanted to party instead of just feeding that. So,
But when you say party, you mean party in a different way? What do you mean? Can you elaborate on that?
like,
Do you understand?
like kind of like wanting to have a good time.
But socially, with friends, and then because some of us, our addiction, for some of us, our addiction takes us to a place to where we want to isolate and just get high with the drug. You know what I mean? By ourselves.
Yeah,
We ain't trying to share. We don't want nobody using none of our shit. It's not, we're smoking a joint with friends and watching a concert and having a good time. Right.
Yeah.
That's one part of the isolation of addiction. That's what I experienced. Right.
Exactly.
It started off using with, and then it was the sitting in the closet and in the garage by myself, but this time, are you saying that the type you wanted to do some partying with some friends or barbecuing, doing some, drinking a couple beers and stuff like that? You wanted to be social.
Yeah.
So you thought that you were in a position now where you could do it and you were going to have control over it. Is that what you were thinking?
No, I didn't want to control it. Like I didn't care. I just wanted to be so. Like you said, I wanted to be. I had just died. So I kind of.
You wanted to celebrate.
Yeah, no, I just wanted to be social. I wanted to like have a good time, to barbecue, because that wasn't no thought. And that's another thing is like when I was in my addiction, I remember this girl like I'm in this trap house, and this girl, she's like, man, let's go to the pool and let's go swimming and all that. I'm like, what? Like, what are you talking about? Like go swimming. Like my mind state was different. And she like that's what she wanted. She wanted to have a good time, and I think this time or that after my accident, that's kind of what I wanted. to to have a good time. So it didn't work out. um, I was
Just tell us about when you used, leading up to using again after your accident, first time.
I got a hold of some stuff to sell, and uh like it was a stolen stuff, and I was having a hard time like with it. Like it was weird, and it took forever, and like the dope man was like taking forever, and it was like just a kind of weird thing. But I waited
What do you wait for? What do you mean?
for them to bring the dope.
Mm.
Like I waited, and I stayed there, and you know um so that's kind of how that happened. I just waited and waited, and it finally came, and I got high. I got high, and
Mm.
and then
And
that
you weren't even 100%. Your body, your mind. You weren't even. You had been. How long had you been out of the hospital? Couple of weeks,
yeah, a month, maybe a month.
maybe a month. And after a near death experience, what led you to almost losing your life?
Right back.
You
at
went
it.
back to it again.
Right back at it.
I think that's what they call the insanity, man, of the addiction. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people, all that takes, some people I've heard in the program, and I've heard people say, some people get a ticket, okay, and they'll go to jail overnight on a PI,
Yeah.
and that's all they
It
need,
changes their
man.
life.
That's it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Not us. You know what I mean? Not us, man. We have that monster inside, man. We have that monster inside. As soon as you wake him up, that's it, man. It's off to the races, and no matter what, man, you're gonna feed it. No, you're gonna feed it. Once we take that step, man. So okay, so you use and what happens after? Tell us about what you felt that first hit, man. What went through your mind? Tell it that explain it to us. I mean, was it happy? Were you upset? Were you disappointed in yourself? I mean, you were high. And I'm sure that first hit you took, man, after being clean for a month or two, maybe three, well, it must have been 4 months, 3-4 months because you were in the hospital. And then a month later, so you were pretty clean, man. So I'm sure that first hit, man, must have been that first hit. And I'm not trying to glorify it, man, but that for a lot of us, man, we try to get clean. Sometimes we'll go 3 or 4 days without using because we do so much dope that we can't feel the difference anymore. You know what I mean? So you got high, man. And what was your thought process, man, right after you getting high?
My thought process was, yeah, you're right. It was, I was high, and it was just like,
Was it scary?
no, it was like, all right, here we go. I'm ready to rock and roll. I was started thinking about hitting legs and stuff like that. Even though I was weak, like I couldn't
Wow.
I couldn't kick no door down or nothing like that.
Mm.
So but I wasn't like disappointed. I was mad. I was kind of angry, and I was just kind of like, I was. You know what? I did feel like something in there, like fuck, man. What am I doing?
Mm.
Yeah, you're right. I did feel something.
Did you really?
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
you're getting honest with us now,
Yeah,
right?
I did feel bad.
Good, man. All
right. Yeah, I did feel bad. I was like, fuck, man. What am I doing?
It's you just hit the point of no return, bro. Right? You
Right.
hit the point of no return. You know what I mean? You opened up fucking what's it called? Pandora's box, man.
Yeah.
You opened up something you should have opened up, right? So and then
So, I was trying to get a job, and somebody hooked me up with this construction company, and it's kind of weird because you remember before my accident, I was going to the bus stop to go to Florida
Yeah.
where my mom was. This offer to work to this construction or what something like that, it was in Florida. So I was waiting to, they had rained out that weekend before. And so that's the thing. I was trying to party that week because it rained out that week. It was like they had a terrible storm that weekend. So I was supposed to go back that next weekend
to Florida.
And and I was partying. I was like, man, I'm just gonna party until I go. And I hit this, I was high and I hit a lick, and I went to the gas station and I went to the restroom and I got high again, and I came out of the restroom, and like 6 police officers are coming inside, and I knew
in the restroom.
No, in the grocery store. Like, and they're coming in, and I knew like they're coming for me because they're looking at me. So I try to go around, like they come around and behind me, in front of me, and like tackle me. And well, they bring me out and out of the store, and they somebody has seen me do it. What I did. And so they ran my name, and I had a warrant. I had a warrant, so they took me to jail. Yeah, and I almost gave him like a fake name, but
that would have done it.
Yeah, it would have been another charge. Huh?
That would have done it. Yeah, because that always works. Give him somebody else's name.
I did that one time.
Yeah, me too. You too?
Yeah. No, but I did it. I was. Let me tell you a funny story real quick. I was in the driver's seat of the car, and this is jacked up, dude. Because I was outside of Burger King right here in Pearland, and I was waiting for my daughter to get out of school because I was there to pick her up. Dude, let me tell you. So the cop comes. I guess they knew my car or whatever. So he knocked on the window, and he goes, "Is your name Raul?" I said, "No, my name is Robert." He goes, "It's not Robert." He said, "Get out the car." I said, "Man,
you're kidding me, man."
So I said, "Man, let me make a text real quick. Let me call somebody, tell somebody to come pick up my little girl." He's like, "All right, I'll give you a minute." So he let me make a call. Then he locked my car up, and he left it there and took me in.
No, you knew you had a warrant or what?
Oh yeah,
you had a warrant.
I knew what I was doing.
Yeah. No, it's Robert, man.
He's like, "No, it's not."
No, it's not. He told you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, I was in my head. I was like, man, I look like my cousin. So I'm gonna tell him.
You would have given your cousin's name
because he ain't never done nothing.
Hey, he got more wars than you.
No.
Yeah, it would have been worse.
Yeah. So, but I did think about that, and I was just.
So they tackled you. Or you said they tackled you, or
yeah.
And weren't you still hurt there? Or you?
Yeah.
I was you didn't tell, "Hey man, take it easy, man. I just got out of the hospital."
They ain't listening. Jen said she did it too.
Yeah. They tackled her.
No, she used the wrong name.
Did she?
Yeah.
So yeah, they tackled me inside the corner store. But
so you went in.
Yeah.
Okay. Is that when? So that's when you went to jail in Pasadena, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I went to jail, then I sat out that time, and then Missouri County came. He got me.
Dude, I was I'm gonna say, man, I was so happy when that happened.
When he got hit?
Yeah. No, when he went to jail.
Oh no, that's what I meant. Not when you got hit.
When he went to jail, I was like, finally, man, they got this motherfucker, man. I
knew what he was up to during that time?
No, I didn't know what he was up to. As far as I knew, man, I think I found out that he had gotten out of the hospital. Because I would go check on him, from time to time. Most of the times that I went to check on him, he was in a coma. He wasn't aware that I was there. And then one of the last times that I went to the hospital, by the time I knew that he was going to live through it, because we weren't sure he was going to live. Right. Yeah. And by the time I saw him awake, walking downstairs with his new shoes that his mom got him, we walked around downstairs. He was in a wheelchair, and we walked around a little bit with the new shoes. And he looked terrible, but I knew he was going to live by that time. So I said, okay, and then I knew he was going to get out the following week. And I said, well, he knows where I'm at. You know what I mean? And then I guess he went through all that. And then I come to find out that he called me. I think he called me from jail. Hey man, that he was in jail. I was like, man, thank you, Lord. And that he had new charges, and then that from there he was going to go to Brazoria County, and then and from Brazoria County they they got him this deal up there at where he went.
Yeah.
And then we talked about it and all that, and then he went there and did his time and went through. They got him a program. They got him a program like a rehab, in a forced rehab.
Yeah.
And then
what is that called? Forced rehab.
What was the name of it, Ernest?
ISF.
ASF. There's also, what's the other one called? It's as a prison rehab. That's basically what he went to.
That's what it is.
Right, but there's
so you can't leave.
There's also no, you can't leave. He's incarcerated.
Yeah,
but he's
okay.
going to. But there's also they call it something else. There's another one over in Brazoria County. What do they call it? I forget. Anyway, it's a program too, but very successful, very good. It's very hard. You know what I mean? It's very blah blah blah. You're incarcerated, but you go to class and you do a bunch of work and stuff like that. You learn a lot of things.
Yeah.
And anyway, he kept in touch during that time, and we talked. And I think he was able to call anytime, right? You wanted to?
No,
SAFP.
Safe P.
Yeah. Safe P is the one from Brazoria County.
Okay.
Yeah. So anyway, tell us about that. You went in, and then you went talked to Brazoria. You went through Brazoria County.
Yeah.
Well, actually, when he went to court, I went to court, and then to the court here in Brazoria County, and they were gonna, sentence him or to give him whatever he was gonna get.
Yeah.
And then, right?
Yeah. So like, they took me. I did the little time in Pasadena. Brazoria County picked me up, and that's when I called. That's when I called Ricky.
How much time were you looking at in Brazoria?
I don't know. Yeah, Brazoria, like you don't know. You don't know.
Mm-hmm.
So, when I called Ricky, man, it was a big, like, cause I had just went through so much, and it was a big thing for me because I had lost all hope. Raul, I had lost all hope, and I just went through so much, and I called Ricky whenever I was in Brazoria County. I finally called him, and he gave me hope. Like that, their hope is just, it was so amazing to me because didn't have hope, man. It was like a light. Like finally, I had been in like complete darkness, and there's like a little light there. Like, man, maybe I got a chance. Maybe I have a chance to fix some shit, man. And that was a pretty good. Like I remember getting off the phone and laying down, and like, man, maybe I can do something with myself. So ever since then, like, and in my accident, I've come a long way, like, from my accident, because my speech was like, I talk slow, but my speech was slower. Like people were like in jail were saying like, they're like, man, you talk really slow. My speech was slower. Like I couldn't read a paragraph. Like I couldn't read a sentence and understand it. And, like everything, like, for some reason, my handwriting was super good.
Yeah.
Yeah. For some reason, but
yeah, he had to forge those checks.
Yeah.
It's from forging all those checks.
Yeah.
I was an artiste.
Yeah, he's an artist.
So yeah, man. So me having that hope, somebody there that maybe I can fix my life. Man, I took that. Like I took that chance. That and that's one thing I hold dear today is and like when I talk in meetings about to newcomers, it's like, man, look, you got a chance, you better take that shit and run with it. You really want this shit, you gotta really fucking want this shit. And so, man, I dedicated myself to fixing me, which is to reading. Like I read, like the first time I remember being in jail and reading the whole book, like being so happy I read the whole book.
Yeah.
Like I hadn't done it since like elementary. So that was super cool. And I started reading a lot, especially like self-development. So yeah, after a while, like Brazoria County, like I said, I don't know anything. Like after a month, they were like finally called my name for court. Went to court, and they I wouldn't. Ricky told me to take probation, and I kind of didn't want to, like growing up, all the old school dudes say don't take probation, just serve your time and be done with it. So, but Ricky said that if I do probation, that he'll help me out. And so I took the ISF, the rehab. I signed for that, and look, when I went to court, and I signed for that. Like, and my mom and Ricky, and then my aunt was there, and like they, that was super cool. And Kevin Gates, I signed for that, and then I like the next couple of days, they called me back for court.
Mm-hmm. Wait, after you signed?
After I signed, like I was like, all right, I'm waiting to go, and then they call me back to court, and I'm like, fuck, man, like they found something.
My credit is bad.
Yeah. I was like,
another charge.
Yeah, I know. I was like, oh man, they see me on cameras or something
somewhere. Yeah.
But they wanted me to sign another paper. I was like, man, y'all couldn't bring me that to So yeah, finally I went into, they picked me up, and I went to ISF is at a TDC unit in Henderson. That's the one I went to.
I remember Henderson, yeah.
Yeah. And that was cool. Like not cool.
It was cool.
Yeah.
It was cool, man.
Yeah.
It was, dude. I'm gonna tell you something, man. It was really cool because that was a chance for you to really get your life together, man. You know what? And not to bring God into this, man. This isn't a religious or spiritual or we say that we don't talk about politics, right? But I'm gonna tell you, man. We believe in our higher power, man. That sometimes, man, it stops us in our tracks so we can focus and reflect on our life or what's going on. And this is what happened to this guy, man. He had plenty of time to think about his life, man, and make some plans, man, and recoup his mind, recoup his body on everything he used again. And hopefully he thought about it. The only thing I regret when he went, man, is I put money on his book so he can call. He called me every freaking night. I was like, hey, man, call your mom from time to time, dog. Call somebody else, dog. No, I'm kidding, man. But you remember he would call me. I said, what you doing? Eating dinner. Hey, what you doing? Just got done with dinner. Hey, what you doing? Thinking about breakfast. Anyway, keep going. So they sentenced you to that. Yeah.
So I went to ISF, and that program, it was like it was obviously a drug deal, drug probation deal.
He called me every night too. Your mom says you called her all the time too. Yeah, because I said, hey man, call her from time to time, man. Put her on the list. Put your sister on there too. Man, call your dope dealer. Call him. Call that son of a bitch. Anyway, keep going.
So yeah, and what's kind of crazy is when I was there, like, look, I'm in jail. And when I went to jail, everything was normal, bro. Like, I mean, the outside. So I'm in jail and I'm sitting there and watching TV, and like COVID happens, and like people are outside, like on TV, like with masks
and all that, yeah.
And they had like bubble wrap and like space suits on.
All in the free world, you're tripping.
I'm like, what? Like, wait,
yeah,
like I'm better.
I can imagine, man. Yeah.
I'm like, hey, what's going on? Like the world's in.
That's right. I remember now. You were in there during that. That's right.
Hey, that's gotta be trippy, man.
Yeah. Were you wondering what the hell was going on out there? Things are falling apart, right?
Yeah, I was like, man,
I ain't never getting out of here, man.
I know,
thinking, man.
So they had us on lockdown.
Mm-hmm.
So it was an ISF program until then,
Mm-hmm.
because it just like after that, like the counselors couldn't come in, people couldn't come in, like barely any guards could come in. So like we just were like on our own. And so it was like a TDC unit. It was like jail.
The one thing I remember, man, and I'm gonna jump in on this real quick, that this guy here, man, he's always been a hothead, right?
Yeah.
And I remember that that one time he called that somebody started trouble with him, man, and he backed down. And I hope you don't mind me saying that, man, but I'm going to tell you something.
You already said it.
Well, I'm going to say it because it's very important.
Yeah.
And I'm going to tell you why it's important, man, because people like us, you know, that are consider ourselves hotheads, that, you know, we'll jump at the first chance that somebody offends us, man. I'm going to tell you, one of the first times that, and when he told me about it, I was like, man, dude, you know, you got to turn the other cheek, man, you know, because you're going to ruin everything. You're going to get kicked out. And then you're going to, you know, because you're there for, even though you're in prison, it's an opportunity.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like probation. You're given it an opportunity. You fuck that up, man. You know, you're in trouble.
Right.
And for me, when I got out, there was a situation that where I also turned the other cheek, man, and that was a turning point in my recovery in my life, man. That hey, look, I don't have to accept every invitation to bullshit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
From now on, you know, right? Do you remember talking about that? We
Yeah.
talked about that, man, and he
Yeah.
felt bad. He was like, I was like, dude,
Actually,
right?
like,
Remember
I didn't know who. Like, somebody took my so like something.
your cookies?
Yeah, somebody
He
took
took my
something,
cookies.
and I didn't know who. And it turned out that I like
You had eaten them.
No, I forgot that I gave it to him,
Oh yeah.
and it was an old man.
Uh-huh.
And I went and I was like, hey man, that's my shit. And I was like, he was like, you gave it to me.
Uh-huh.
And like, I guess from my accident, I couldn't remember. And after a while, I was like, oh fuck, I did give it to him.
Mhm.
But yeah, before that, I didn't know. And that's when I called you. I was like, man, I'm gonna whoop somebody's ass here.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I remember talking about that with you, man, and say, you know, and I remember having that conversation, man, about, hey, listen, man, you know, it's not worth it, you know, and so I hope that something was learned from there, man, and we apply that in our lives today,
Yeah.
right? So anyway, keep going.
So yeah, so I that whole time, even though it turned the counselors weren't there no more, I still had like the drive to face myself.
Mm-hmm.
So when I was in Brazoria County, I started reading the Bible, and I started from Genesis 1:1, and
Is that the first page? I don't know.
that's the
Mhm.
first of the first of the Bible.
Okay.
The beginning, and like 2 days before I got out, like a day before I got out, I had finished it, like from Genesis to Revelation. I read like the whole Bible, and I say that because I had such a drive to work on me, you know, to work on myself, you know, and I wanted to get my mind. Like I read so many business books and stuff about self-development and cognitive thinking and all kinds of stuff because man, I really wanted to get this. So
let me interrupt you because we have 17 minutes left in the podcast. Okay. I wanna fast forward to you getting out, and then you got out to you going through what you went through. You went through the Safe P, which actually is a different name of the program you went through. You got out, and then talk to us about you walking out. When you walked out of there a day after that, give us a couple minutes of that. Give us a couple minutes about coming here to the shop, the conversation we had, thinking about getting back into recovery, getting in recovery, and then tell us about getting your sponsor, how you went about getting your sponsor that you have now, you know, and how you're doing with that, and bring us up to speed to your life where you're at today. If you can do that in the next 15, 16 minutes.
Okay. So when I got out, I had to really work on my recovery. You know, even though I was doing all that, trying to work on myself, when I got out, like I remember I was riding with somebody, and like we're in this neighborhood, and I'm looking.
When you got out of safe of your program in jail, you got out. Somebody picked you up. Who picked you up?
I was riding with you, and no. Who picked me up from
Safe P or from your program? No, when you got out of jail.
When they took me, they brought me on the bus.
That's right. You got out on. Yes, right. You came on the bus. You came home on the bus. That's right. Okay. And then
They dropped me off in Angleton. Then my mom
picked you up.
And that's when we came by the shop.
Okay.
Then I stayed over there with them. I stayed the night. Then I came back. So yeah, like with my recovery, like for some reason I even though I'd been away for a while, I was still like I still had a mind of like my mind was messed up. So that's when I knew that I really like have to work on my recovery. Because I know like we're in Pearland, yeah, but like right, you could cross Beltway 8 and you're in the hood. So I really like had to. I noticed my thoughts, and I had to really work on my recovery, which was going to meetings, getting a sponsor, and taking every single suggestion that try to take every single suggestion that was given to me. I knew I needed to work the steps and and I'm working the steps right now. I just finished step 4 and I'm working step 5. I'm starting to answer questions on it. And
How did you go about getting a sponsor? How did you do that?
At a meeting, I just asked somebody to be my sponsor.
Were you embarrassed?
No, I wasn't embarrassed.
Well, you were not afraid that they would say no.
No. I knew the guy, so I knew that. I mean, I hope that they would say yeah.
So what would you have done if he had said that he didn't have time or he had too many sponsees already?
I would be like, I would ask somebody else.
You would you have?
Yeah.
Some people would have given up.
Nah, man.
You know what I mean?
Took it as a sign.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they would have said, "Oh man," they would have got offended and said, "You know what? I mean, because it's embarrassing to get rejection, dude. It's just like taking a chick, asking a chick on a date. Yeah. You know what I mean? She says no. You're gonna go, man. I ain't asking that. It's got this. Maybe I'm different than everybody else. You know what I mean? The people that I've talked to is like, they're very afraid of rejection.
No, I feel that.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, but you were ready.
Yeah, and I wanted to work. I knew I needed to work
because you came to live here. One of the deals that we had was like, hey man, go ahead and sign for this, and when you get out, you're gonna have a place to live. Eventually, you have a car. We made some discussions and we made some agreements, right? Mm-hmm. And but the deal was for you to live here was to you had to go to the meetings, you had to get a sponsor and all that kind of stuff, and then you did, right? Right. Well, he took a long time.
Also, yeah,
and then
it took a little while.
Yeah.
Also, I was on probation.
Mm-hmm.
I was on deferred probation.
But probation doesn't ask you to have a sponsor.
I had to go to meetings.
No, of course. I mean, people go to meetings all the time and they don't do the program. Get a sponsor, call the sponsor. They don't follow it. They just go to get their paper signed. That's a big difference, right? But you actually did. Just because you were on probation, you could have got your paper signed, came home and just do the deal on your own, right? Yeah. But you didn't. You chose to go ahead because, dude, before this, you had several years of knowing what to do. You know what I mean? Yeah. So you knew what to do. It was just now applying yourself, and you did. You applied yourself, so okay. So anyway, and he said yes. And what was his conditions?
Conditions for
being your sponsor, because there's conditions as far as I know, right?
Oh, well, I had to start working step 1, start answering questions in that work.
Okay.
Step workbook.
Yeah.
Yeah. To call and
did you have any problems with your sponsor at any time? Like, did you ask you to do things that you wouldn't do, or did you taking too long to do anything like that, or was it just everything pretty cut and dry? You did everything he asked you to all the time. He never got after you for not doing something.
Yeah, like I'll take my time answering questions.
Right.
He's like, "Come on, man." So yeah, even like now, he's like, yesterday he was telling me like, "When are you gonna answer questions?" For step 5.
That's really important, and the sponsorship is very important. I'm going to tell you something else about sponsorship, man. That my predecessors used to say, or that I used to hear our predecessors say to us, was that our sponsors aren't just there for us to step all over either, man. You know what? Because every time my sponsor, they used to say, hey, every time you see our sponsee calling, This some bitches only call, or we call only when like we only call them when we need something,
Yeah,
or we're
I
in
guess.
trouble.
Yeah.
You know, we got into a fight with our brother or arguing with my mom, and I'm about to, you know, and this, that, and the other. And they tell us, before you do anything stupid or want to use, call me. Right. So all we hear is a sponsor is all the bullshit, you know, every time we know that when we see this number calling, something's going on. Right.
Right.
And what they told us, what I was like, hey man, sponsors they're people too, man. They have wives, they have husbands, they, you know, have children, they pay bills, they have cars that break down, they have shit that breaks at their house. Hey, call them from time to time and go, hey, you know, mess your shit all up. Go, hey, what's going on? Nothing. What's up? Nothing, man. I just called and say hello, man. You know what I mean? Oh, hello. You know what I mean? It's good to get that, you know, to get that feeling that you really appreciate someone, you know, in your life. You know what I mean? And by just, you know, reaching out sometimes, you're going, hey, man, how are you today? You know what I mean? Forget me. How are you?
Yeah.
Because I'm going to tell you something, man. Us as addicts, a lot of us addicts are very selfish people.
Right.
We go through our addiction only, you know, wanting to get what we need to get to feed that addiction, and it makes us become people we hate to be. You know what I mean?
You become selfish,
Self-centered,
selfish.
Right.
But in everything you do, man, I you know, I know, like past relationships, I could have made work if I was sober, but I know that I was a different person. You know what I'm saying? And, I think that you know, once I get further along, I know I still owe a lot of people an apology.
hey, but you know, it comes with all that comes with time.
Yeah.
Man. You know what I mean? It comes with time whenever we're ready to do it. So anyway, so your sponsor, you got a sponsor, and then you went back and forth with him a couple of times about things that you weren't doing or not doing right or taking too long to do, and he would tell you about it, and you would try to get it done then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. You know, I'm still working this 12 steps. Yeah. So, you know,
so your experience, we've got 10 minutes. We've got under 10 minutes to finish this story. Let me take
recovery, man. I came out trying, like, I'm still trying so hard, like, to live a good life.
You're doing good,
I'm
man.
I'm trying to do things, man, because sometimes I think, man, I died, man. Like I flatlined. You know, they had to bring me back, man. And like today I try to do some things and I get in my head and I want to go out and I want to do this, I want to do that. And you know, and
that's okay.
And so I'm trying like really, really hard. And man, I have so many dreams, and that's one thing in recovery, man. Dreams today is not just a dream, like a wish. It's now I'm clean. Now I have a chance. Now I can I'm clean. I can write it down and I can figure this shit out.
Yeah.
I can do it. I can do it today, being clean, you know. And one thing that I really have to do about that though is I have to check myself. Because I will do extra shit that I need to take care of my priorities, which is people that are close to me, and you know, and the meetings, you know, getting into the meetings like what we were talking about earlier, getting involved with people in recovery, reaching out, man, because there's people that, you know, that they need help. You know, I needed help. I needed a lot of help. And you know, there's people, we need each other. You know, the NA is you know, we're not alone. You know, we all need each other. On Monday I went to a meeting in the north side. You know, me and this dude, we went to the meeting in the north side, and at this recovery house, and this dude, he got up to speak, and he had 28 years clean. No. He had that day. He had 20 days clean. He threw away 28 years being clean for some weed.
No shit.
You know, it's like, man, you know, and like if I'm honest, you know, sometimes, you know, I do get in my head. You know, I see people having a good time. You know, and you know, the world portrays weed and drinking like it's so cool. So I you know, I like
the only one that portrays that being cool is Snoop Dogg.
yeah. So Yeah, so like
and Martha
this-
Stewart.
Yeah, Martha Stewart.
She's a
Yeah,
thug, bro.
Yeah.
yes, yeah. So yeah, sometimes, man, sometimes I think, man, I can do this. Maybe I can do this and I'll be all right. And I could, and then I go to a meeting and I hear this dude that threw away 28 years for some weed and he messed himself up. I'm like, nah, man, fuck that, man. Nah, man, I have to be vigilant. I have to be vigilant on myself. I need to be around people that are gonna, check me whenever I'm acting out. I need to go to meetings and talk about, I need to, talk to newcomers that are just got off the streets that remind me of when I was on the streets, when I was out there, man. Because real quick, man, today I'm scared. Bro. I don't want to mess up. I don't. So I throw myself into recovery today.
I'm gonna ask you a question.
Uh-huh.
I'm gonna ask you when I walked into rehab. Now I have the opportunity to ask these questions, man. When they were asked to me, excuse me. I walked into rehab, my last and final rehab, hopefully, I walked in at Bay Area Recovery, man, and I forget his name. He passed away already. He was the manager, the home manager there. And I remember being in the group, in the hall, in the gathering room, and I remember all the recovering addicts were there, and I had just got there. I'd been in there for an hour. They were showing me my room, and they said we're all gathering in the, what do you call it? I was in the back of the room, man. I remember him saying, I remember him going, I'm gonna ask you a question, man. He says, I'll never forget this, man. And without me, he says, if you could use your drug of choice, what you loved to do, what got you here? He says, with no consequences, none. You wouldn't be in trouble. You wouldn't fail a test. You would nothing. If you could use today with no consequences, no repercussions, would you? I thought about it for a minute. I was like, I just got there. I was like, fuck yeah. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I fast forward. This was going on 11 years, right? Ago, over 11 years. And I'm thinking to myself today, I was like, no, man. Today? No. Now I'm going to turn around and ask you the same question, Ernesto. If you could use today, and be honest, if you could use with no repercussions, nothing will go, but with the experience that you've experienced with this drug, everything that it took you through, all the pain, all the misery, everything that it took you through, with that taken in consideration, but if you could use today and nothing would happen, no repercussions, nothing, you wouldn't get in no trouble, nothing, would you?
No, not today.
That's the God honest truth.
No, I wouldn't use because there is consequences.
What's the consequence?
Yeah, I know that was.
You would know.
Yeah,
you would know.
That's what's up.
Hey, man,
that would unleash.
You would know.
That's some real shit.
That would unleash a different demon, man.
Right.
That's a whole different Ernesto that I don't want to ever see again.
You know what this old man told me one time? I went to jail. I was gonna go turn myself in. AJ, remember AJ?
Oh yeah.
AJ. I went, dude, because I went in and talked to him. I said, hey, listen, man. Because I respected the man, I loved him, and I respected him very much. And I remember I went and sat with him one time outside of his house in the little porch that we used to sit out and chat with. And I said, "Listen, man, I'm gonna go turn myself in. I'm gonna be gone for a while." He goes, "Oh well, son, take care of yourself." He came and put money on my books.
Did he?
Mm-hmm. He could put. He came and put. I remember that, man. He came put money on my. He came to see me, in visitation, and he put money on my books, man. I'll never forget. And anyway, he says, I said, you know what, AJ, I'm done, man. I'm done with this stuff, man. I'm going to, clean up my life. And he goes, you know what, son? He goes, I'll tell you something, whether you do, I mean, it'd be great if you did, but I'm going to tell you something. If you don't, you may fool a lot of people. And I will never know. Nobody else would ever know, but you'll know.
Yeah.
And you'll have to live with yourself, man. I remember he said that, and I remember that forever, man.
That's what's up, man.
You know what I'm saying?
And that's dope. Let me read some of these comments real quick, man. You got Jen. She says, you're doing amazing. I'm so glad to have you as a friend. We are recovery warriors. Your mom said that she's so proud of you. Keep your light shining and continue to inspire. Oh, continue to be an inspiration to everyone. God puts in your life. Everyone puts God. You know what I mean.
Mm-hmm. Amy Plummer, what's Amy Plummer? Amy says, you got this, Ernesto. Keep it up. I see great things in you.
And Jen said, yes, we are family.
And BB still says it Fajita Fridays. He's saying that he's Fajita Friday, waiting on Fajita Fridays. BB, Eloy, what's up with my man Eloy? He says the 10-step program. He says the 13 steps. Eloy.
Man, Ernesto, man, since I got to know you, man, you're doing good, bro. I see you in the meetings. I see you holding your own meetings now. Man, keep it up, bro. Don't
Dude, the only thing you need to start, the only thing that I'm going to request, man, when you hold in your meetings, quit charging people to come in, man. You know what I mean? In the beginning, he was charging $3.
It's like a club.
Yeah. He was charging people at the door $3 to come in. It's like, Ernesto, you got to stop that hustle, man. It's got to end some time.
He's like, coffee ain't free.
Yeah.
If you go out, you gotta pay to get back in.
You got to pay to come back in, man.
You ain't got no stamp.
That's right. Yeah, you'd be stamping them. Boom. Why don't they come sit down?
Look at this fool right here.
Man. Addicted. Eloy's addicted to fajitas, he said. Yeah. That's right.
AB said, keep up the good work. You're doing great.
Amy Lopez, what's up, Amy? All right. Yeah. So yeah, you are doing good, man. And I'm gonna say,
Man, you know what, man? I love my life today.
That's
like,
good.
Even though like sometimes I do like I was talking with somebody the other day and I was like, man, I do need to, sometimes I need to fix my priorities in my life. Man, my life is so good today. Like the problems I have today.
So tell us what you've accumulated during this from you, because you had lost it all. You were on the street, no money, no clothes. You were eating a hamburger out of the dumpster, or you were fighting a cat over a piece of bone or something, right? Yeah. And then from the dumpster. So you went through all that. You were homeless. You were financially broke, spiritually broke. You were bodily broke, or physically, you should say. Right? Tell us in few words, man, what you've accumulated today, and how much time you have clean, and what you have accumulated since you walked out of jail.
Well, since I've been out of my clean time, I count my clean time. What's the June? When did I get out? July
17th. You walked out.
So that's when my recovery day. I haven't used since they tackled me in the grocery store. That was like my last day I ever.
When's the last time you used when they tackled me in the grocery store?
Hey, I wonder if we could get that video.
For real. That'd be good to see.
Yeah, that was they took me to jail. That was it. And that's been like over 2 years, like 2.5 years. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, man, I have fixed some things. Like I've worked some things out with my mom that had been, we talked about in earlier videos. With my sister, man, I hadn't seen. I live with my sister. My sister's living with me. And it's kind of cool, man. Cause
your sister's living with you?
Yeah. She's, I'm helping her out, man. She's doing so good, and I'm watching her fix her life, and it's like really cool, man. Because not only it's cool to live with her, because we haven't lived with each other since like little kids.
Dude, can you imagine how proud your dad is, man, to seeing you two guys helping each other out that way? God dog it, man. Yeah. Man, I'm going to tell you something. Some of the things, I'm going to tell you something, bro, that what inspires me to stay clean, man, is knowing that my old man is looking down on me going, man, you know what, son? This is what I've always wanted for you. You know what I mean? And can you imagine, man, to honor your dad, man, to honor your dad, and to now live in recovery, man, and live your life the way your dad always wanted you to. Yeah. And not just that, man, to see that you're that shining light, that you're taking his place to show your sister the way, man. You know what I mean? He'd be so proud. He is very proud of you, man. And I'm proud of you too, man. You've come a long way. You've come a long way. You've accomplished some goals, man. And this isn't time to stop, man. People depend on you, man. You know, your sister depends on you. Your mom depends on you. I mean, you still have, you know, these guys that look up to you, man, and they expect you to be that leader, to be that shining light, man. You are no longer that, you know, you are no longer that light at the end of the tunnel that they thought it was a freight train. You know, you're not that freight train anymore. Now you're a beam of light, man, of hope. You know what I mean? And inspiration, man. And that's awesome to see, you know. And now look, man, just because we're in recovery, Raul, doesn't mean that we don't make mistakes, man. We're human. We make mistakes. We fail. We fall. We make mistakes. We make wrong decisions and stuff, man. But just with the grace that all of us have been forgiven, and when we make mistakes, man, that's why when we've been given grace, we have to give that person behind us the same grace that people give us. Yeah, that God has given us as sinners, man. You know what I mean? So whenever somebody fails us, man, we can't be that quick to judge and stuff, right? We have to live by those rules, man, right? Yeah. That's what, and it's a learning process, man. It's called life. It's called life, man. You know, again, we're not computers, man. We live, we learn, we fall, we get up. And I'm gonna say this, man.
One of my favorite things, and today in recovery is I'm learning to be human today. Like that's one of my favorite things to say is like, yeah, even me, like I mess up, you know, but I'm learning, you know, like just because I reacted like wrong, or you know, and I'm learning how to deal with people. Like in my addiction and even growing up, like I didn't know, like I was not a people person. So, but today, like with my job today, like I'm trying to learn how to, you know, how to talk to people.
And it's amazing, dude. I'm gonna tell you something. I'm gonna say this, man. When he came to work here, he was a mechanic for me before. And when he came back, he was like, man, I'm reading all these books about new, you know, things and getting up to speed about, you know, his thing was he was gonna come back and start turning wrenches because he was doing some really good work for me, right? And he came back, man, and he hit it for about a week and a half, 2 weeks, man. And he was struggling. I didn't know because I was busy. And he's like, man, I'm having a hard time, right? And I guess I said, well, I think he was having trouble physically, right?
Yeah, my back had opened up.
Yeah, he had it from his accident. And I said, okay, well, listen, we're gonna put you in the front desk, right? Is that what you want to do? And then I was like, how the hell is he gonna do this, man? This guy don't even talk. I can't get him to talk. How's he gonna answer the phone? I was worried. And then in fact, tell him what I told you. Tell the audience what I
well, yeah,
I said, don't answer the phone.
Yeah. You didn't know I heard you, but you're like telling everybody else, don't let him answer the phone.
Yeah, he has a terrible voice.
Yeah. Like y'all answer the phone first. Do not let him answer the phone.
What did he say? This is Ricky. Effing.
Yeah. You heard that? You heard that? When I was telling him?
I heard it.
Yeah. I said, dude, you need to practice in front of a mirror, man. Ernesto, Ernesto. So he was answering up. I said, dude, lighten up, man.
Yeah, I did, man. I worked real hard. That's one thing that I wanted to, you know, I did. I knew I liked being up front, so I worked really hard on that.
Dude, you know what he came here with? Let me tell you what he did here. He tried to bring his freaking hustle here to the shop when he lived here. I come in here in the room that I was letting him stay in, right? In here. He lived in here. And he had like 20 radios. I was like, no, man. Hell no. And he's like, they're not stolen. I said, I don't give a shit. Get them the hell out. I don't know what you know what? He got mad. So he walked to the dumpster like this and went into the dumpster. I said, I don't know how the hell you're gonna get rid of them, but I don't want them here. Yeah, you know what I mean? They're not stolen. I don't care. They look stolen though. You know, you got stereos that are, you know what I mean?
Yeah, they're like GM factories.
Yeah. I said, dude, get them out of here. Yeah. Anyway.
Hey, you got Eloy. Eloy said he's proud of you. And your mom said to praise God. You got Kevin. Kevin said one thing, one thing good from hitting rock bottom, the only way up. The only way is up. Keep it up.
Keep it. Yeah, there's only one way up, man. It's going up. Keep it up. He says, praise God. Your mom And you and your mom's relationship you're starting to get you have a relationship with your mom today, right? And your sister, of course, because your sister lives with you, and some family members too, right? Kind of,
Yeah,
sometimes some family, man, you just gotta leave family where they're at, man. You know what I mean? And like me, I leave my family. I'm not. I love my family, but sometimes I can't be too much in, around them.
Yeah.
Oh, I feel you.
You know what I mean? Holidays, I just send them a piece of turkey, and on Thanksgiving, and then throw them a leg, and that's it. What's up, man? There's my Megan. All right. So, anything else you want to add to finish up?
Final thoughts, bro.
With final thoughts, man. Tell us. Break it down.
Final thoughts. Man, I just like I said, I love my life today, and even though, like I've said before, man, like even though I was over here and now I feel like I'm over here, like man, some days I do think, man, I've come a long way, and I feel like I've accomplished a lot. Even though I've accomplished a lot in my head.
So tell us,
it can easily.
It can mean you one hit away from rock bottom. We are one hit away from rock bottom, bro.
Yes,
one hit. Man. That's it. That's it. Tell us what you haven't told us what all you've accomplished. You came here. Oh, you came here on foot with no clothes.
Yeah. So I got a car.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
and tell them how many times the transmission, dude. This guy was like he was pulling his hair out because the transmission went out on it. How many times?
Twice.
Three times. Twice?
Oh yeah. 3 times.
3 times. The transmission went out on it 3 times, man. But he would get so upset.
I'm going on 4 now.
Yeah. But the thing is, and this is where he doesn't seem like, hey man, so what? So what? You've got a job, you can pay for it. Yeah. You know what I mean? You could pay for your repairs today. See, this is what we don't understand, man. That back then, if we were using. We couldn't. There's no way we could fix our transmission because we need that money for dough. Right. There's no way. And today we can. We can put another transmission, and if the other one goes out, we can pay for that one too. Or next time we'll buy one with warranty. Well, we don't have to worry about it, right? It's an escalating upward hill now. I mean, upward. Whatchamacallit, right? Yeah. So you got the car, even though the transmission went out on it several times. You've learned something, right? You've learned something from that experience of buying used transmissions, right? Yes. Okay, so you got the car with bad transmissions, you replace, and every time it goes out, you're able. I'm going to tell you something else, and I know this is going over, but let me tell you something that happened. And I don't know if he forgot, when he was living here, he had a curfew. He couldn't stay out after 10 o'clock, and boy, he gave me hell about that. Oh man, he gave me hell about that. He wanted to come in at 8:05. I mean at 10:05, 10:10. Always pushing like an addict, pushing that little envelope. He's over. And I told him, I said, dude, you're still late. I'm gonna lock the doors. And I was gonna change the locks. And I said, you're gonna have to sleep outside. You know what I mean? My dad used to do that to me. Yeah. And I didn't understand it at the time. You know what I mean? I didn't understand it. But anyway, one time he was late and he comes back with his trunk all smashed up in the back. I was like, what the hell happened? He goes, man, I ain't helping nobody. No, he was fuming. I ain't helping nobody no more. I was like, what happened? So I think some lady broke down or somebody broke down side of the road. He gets out and leaves his car out there so nobody hit him, and he helps push the kid out of the way. And they come and ram him in his car, man. And he comes home, man, with the trunk all popped up and everything. He's like, I said, what? And he told me he was helping somebody else out, man. I said, so what's the big deal? Look at my car, man. The transmission, I just put a transmission in it, another freaking bolt back into it. I said, so what? I said, dude, we know a body, man. And see, sometimes, man, our thinking, again, is on that old thinking that, some little thing happens, big deal. Yeah. Big fucking deal. No sooner than within 2 weeks, he bought a trunk, he bought the thing, he bought another thing, and we talked to the paint guy, and he put it together, painted it like nothing. And sometimes, man, our own thinking that we have from the past, it blocks our thinking. You know what I mean? Now what we don't understand is that we have all these opportunities, man. All these things comes easy to us. They come very easy to us. you know, and all we got to do is be a little patient and use that thinking. See, we're stuck, and we got to bring that thinking back up to date. So that was the deal with the car, right? And he's still driving the car.
I never heard that. You ever heard that expression?
What?
Your baby's the addict, Barry's the addict.
Yeah, right.
I never heard that before. I like that.
Absolutely. It's very true. So you got the car, and then what else?
The car. So man, I have dreams that I want to now.
He didn't want to. He got tired of my curfew. So you know what he did? Tell him what you did.
I got an apartment.
There you go.
Hey, woo, get the applause. Which one do you have left?
Come in and out anytime I want to. Do what I want.
That's right.
So yeah, that was super cool. I got a place, man, which is a big deal because I was out there, you know, I was homeless, you know, and I have a car now, and you know that's mine, and I got a place, and you know I brought the bed from here, took it over there and had a bed and a place, and so yeah, at the same time, I did finish probation. I finished all my community hours. Like yesterday, some girl was telling me that they let her off. She's on probation, and they let her off on a community service because she's been working all of them. I'm like, what? Like they didn't do that to me. They made me work to the last hour.
Yeah, well, you need it.
Yeah, yeah. So yeah, I finished that. I finished probation. I took care of all that. And yeah, you know.
And how's your apartment? How do you like it? What do you do? Or what do you? I see that you have like a little section where you read, or is that a bunch of bullshit?
No, yeah. I got a desk.
It's just for looks. It's just for social media.
Yeah, just
make it like you're smart.
My picture. You know? I make it look good. You know?
Yeah.
No, I got me a desk. You know, my study area. I got a TV. I barely got the TV, and
yeah, I'm gonna be repossessing it, by the way, if you don't make that last payment.
Yeah, right.
You're 2 weeks late.
That's what's up, man.
I love my apartment, man. Like this morning, I got up. I made sure to get up early, and I drank my coffee. And I love lighting, so I put my lamp on, and I clean my room up, and my place, man. It's something I cherish today, man. Like I said in another episode, sometimes I lay down at night and I'm like, man, I'm laying in my bed, man. Like, it feels good. I turn the AC down as low as I want to.
Do you ever get ungrateful?
Sometimes I do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you do? How do you get ungrateful? Why do you say yes to the question?
Because I'm honest.
Is it easy to get ungrateful?
Yeah, it's easy for me to like want more, and
but it's normal to want more, though. What I'm talking about is to be ungrateful. Like, on where we're at sometimes. Do you ever get ungrateful of your life? That you don't practice gratitude. Like me, for instance, Raul. Sometimes, man, check this out. Oh, if business is slow, oh man, I get all messed up. I get all in my head. I'm like, oh man, it's that and the other, man, and then or whatever, right?
Right.
But I don't stop sometimes. Like my sponsor say, I'm a fast learner, but I'm a faster forgetter. Yeah. Dude, I forget how beautiful a life I have. You know what I mean? That's why every time that we get in the slump, it's always good to make a gratitude list. One, I'm healthy. Right? Yeah. Well, at least I hope I'm healthy, right? I mean, nothing hurts, I'm healthy. My family's healthy. I have my home. I have a washer and dryer today. I have two dishwashers, right? I have 3 dishwashers, right? I have my apartment downtown. I have my apartment here, and I have my home. Dude, I can go on and on. I should be, and you know what that does? That gives me gratitude, man. It reminds me of how grateful I should be every morning when I wake up, man, to be grateful. And that being grateful, man, this is that a grateful recovering addict won't use. You know what I mean? Because we're grateful of the life that we've been given and the opportunity to live life the way we do, man.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's one reason why I make it a point to go to meetings a lot, because I'm in the meeting and people are sharing, and I'm like, man, I remember like they just come in, and I'm thinking, man, like I remember just I was just there, man. You know, like I instantly get like grateful, like oh,
That's good, man. That's good to stay.
Elo says he needs a radio. Ernesto will hook you up. Earlier. So okay, man. So that's any that's the ending comments for you, Ernesto. So tell us the last ending comment, man, to finish this fourth and final finale.
Fourth and final. Man, if man, I'm just I don't know what to say.
That's what's up. You're grateful.
Yeah,
You're
man,
grateful,
I'm
man.
grateful, man. Like there is a chance if you're going through something, there, man, you there's hope. There is hope today, man. There's a chance, and, if we really want to fix our lives, and we really gotta want it, and, there's a chance for us. There's a chance to recover. If you're alive and you're breathing, you got a chance. And I'm one person that I came from like a pretty rough. I messed everything up, and today, my biggest problem is I spend too much money. Who
don't?
So
thank God, man, that you have money to spend today, though, right?
I heard that.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, so.
And it's money that you earned. You know what I mean? That you didn't not hustle, because you know what? Sometimes, man, we got to get that hustle like that we used to do while we were using. We got to distinguish the difference between earning and hustling, man. You know what I mean?
True.
Yeah. So we start learning those things, that we don't need to hustle. And those licks, those hustles, man, don't no longer have room in our lives, man. Today we work for income. Yeah. We work for there's different words that we use today. The hustle's over.
Yeah, that's right? One thing that
the struggle.
That we like. I have to work on is my values today. Like this, my values have to be right today. It's like the just for today. The just for today was about us not people pleasing, but working on spiritual principles of being a good person to be a good person. Like not trying to whether it's right or wrong to get I
know that's Starbucks.
Yeah. So yeah, whether it's right or wrong, like we're trying to people please, and that's I'm trying. I don't want to do that. I want to do what's right today, and that's one thing in recovery that I can work on me and my values. I've messed up a lot, so I'm working on myself today on being a good person. Maybe one day somebody will tell me I'm a good person. You know what I'm saying?
Right on. Well, with that being said, man, this is the final episode. We're finally done, man.
Yeah,
it's 4.5 hours, man, for this guy to finish his story. That was long.
It's an amazing story to hear, though, man. There's so much struggle and so much. Is the word triumphed?
Yeah, triumph is we could apply that to his so right now. Absolutely.
He's definitely doing big things, man. I'm watching you, just so you know. Everything you do, I watch you. So
and not just that, man. And the judges, we were friends with a lot of the judges that saw him go through, man, and watching him, put his life back together, man. And I'm assuming the judge that sentenced him to the program that he went to, in jail. They also know they're watching his progress. Everybody's watching.
Everybody watches.
We're under a magnifying glass, man.
Judge Richter watches it. And
yeah,
I know that
absolutely.
She's a fan of the show, man.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
we're gonna invite her soon. Hopefully, she'll accept our invitation, man.
With Ricky. So let's talk real quick, man. Next week we're gonna do it a little different, bro.
Okay.
Next week we're gonna have callers call in, man.
Good.
So we're gonna have them call in live, and if they got questions about strength, recovery, hope. If you're a parent or you got someone that's struggling with addiction and you got questions of your own that you want maybe an opinion. I don't know if it's really gonna be the right answer, but it'll be our opinion. And try to help the best we can. So we'll be doing that next week. Next week from 7 to 8, we'll be putting out the information. probably tomorrow. Be honest with you,
Good.
so we can
All
start
right.
shooting promos and doing things like that.
That'll
But man,
work,
it's
all right.
it's an honor to hear your story, bro. And we appreciate you coming in repeatedly, and
then finally finishing it up, right? Yeah.
yeah.
So
So
good, man. That's
yeah.
all right. With that being said, man, go ahead, Raul.
Now, with that being said, you guys be sure to follow us, share us, social media, everything like that. And then if you liked it, be sure to tell a friend, share the episode. And we got big things coming up. So y'all stay tuned.
Right on.
Hey, Ricky.
Mm.
Ernesto.
Mm.
What is it?
We do recover.
Right on. The lies
dead.
dead. We do recover.
We do recover.